Jessica says, why do guys run when you tell them you love? There could be a whole bunch of different reasons, but it probably has something to do with him not seeing you the same way that you see him. It could be that he just wants to hook up and nothing more. It could be that he thinks that you're getting attached way too quickly, and that could be a giant red flag. That's a very common red flag on both sides with men and women. Because there's a lot of talk about love bombing, which is something that you should be very aware of. Sometimes that's manipulative. Sometimes it's not. Most of the time, I don't think it is. Most of the time, I think it's somebody just being totally like attracted to somebody and being love drunk with them and being like, oh, you're so amazing, right? But it's something that happens really, really early on, and it's weird, right? It's a red flag. It's a red flag because it's like, well, what's actually going on here? Does this person actually see me as a real person, right? So if you're, 2 weeks into dating a guy, 3 weeks into dating a guy, and you're telling him how much you love him and all that kind of stuff, and he's still kind of just getting to know you and he's not totally sure about you yet, and you're like, I love you, don't try to leave me because I find you, right? Any of that kind of stuff is like no good. And guys will run away really quickly because he knows that especially if he's not feeling the same way, or he feels like you're doing that and then trying to manipulate him through that, which is a common tactic that both men and women use. It's one of the things that I hear a lot in the community where they're like, oh, I love him, so I need him to do this and I need him to do that. And it's like, your love for him doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if his love for you isn't there, right? You can't force him to be the right man. You can't convince him to fall in love with you. He either feels it or he doesn't. And you can do things that make him feel it more or less, like smothering him or giving him space or connecting with his emotions and all that kind of stuff. But you can't force it. You can't force it to be there or not be there. And if he thinks that you are kind of overwhelming with your love for him too early and he's not feeling it, it's a huge red flag for guys. It's a huge red flag. So I hope that makes sense for you, Jessica.